hope your break was good. I'm still thinking about the wolves. I want to actually play that over and over again. I am excited for our next speaker, excited for all of them, but excited for the next speaker because I work with him very closely on a day-to-day basis. So I'm really excited to have Monte Wyatt on here talking about people and leading with emotion. So Monte, take it away. You have the Zoom stage.
Angie, thank you. And I want to thank Marvin and Angie and Kevin for their teaching so far. I know I'm learning a lot, and I hope each of you are as well. I want everyone to use the hand raise if this relates to you right now. How many of you believe your people are one of your greatest assets? All right, we're getting lots of hands raised. I love that. It's going higher and higher. You know, I really believe this, and this is the second question. Do your personal and organizational actions support that belief? And that's the challenging question. Our assets need to grow in value. Our assets need to be invested in. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to help you bring clarity to how you are leading not only yourself, but everyone that you interact with each and every day. And we are talking about leadership. And I say leadership and leading with emotion. You know, it's very interesting. The word leadership is very overused and can be very vague and confusing. Leadership and management have been used synonymously. My leader, my manager. Leadership and management are not the same and should be thought of very differently. We've even used them here already today in different phrases, leadership and management. I want everyone to write this down. Leadership creates passion and focus. And I want to add one more step to that. Leadership is influence through passion and focus. And I want that to sink in for a second, because leadership is all about influence. Every single one of us has influence. We influence with our ideas, our words, our dreams, our opinions. But how do we really influence? We influence through passion and focus. You know, people are influenced when they see and feel energy or emotion about something. Children can influence us. Executives can influence us. Managers influence. The average person can have influence every single day through their small acts. We influence through passion and focus. Now, again, my belief is that the world needs leadership and management more than ever before. We have so many challenges going on in the world. We have business challenges, we have health challenges, recruitment challenges, retention challenges, financial challenges, and we absolutely have personal life challenges, every single one of us. Leadership and management are two different sets of behaviors, and people need and want to be led. Every day we are influenced by marketing ads, news media, politicians, our friends, our neighbors, our competitors. The world is distracting. We get pushed and we get pulled in every direction. As business executives, every one of us, we need to influence our teams to create our futures, to see our futures, and to be motivated by those futures. This is an emotional connection in so many businesses that is absolutely missing today. We're seeing this in so many businesses right now. Employees are leaving. They're going where they believe the grass is greener because they haven't been led, or they're not being led to see the future, to see where they need to go. So I want everyone to write this next statement down. Lead people, manage process. Lead people, manage process. No one on the face of the earth really wants to be managed. We all want to have autonomy. We all want to do what we think is best, but everyone wants and needs to be led. I go to a fitness trainer twice a week. He leads me to be healthier. He leads me to get stronger. He challenges me in my eating habits. And he redirects me to eat better when I get off track. My trainer helps me see a life that has better health, that has greater strength, that better sleep, and having a strong future without medications. I need to be led because it's easy to veer off track. It's the same in every one of our organizations. We all need to be led. It's easy to get stuck in the day-to-day fires. It's easy to get stuck in what we think is most important right now. Great leaders do a great job of redirecting their team. They redirect them and get them back on track, on the right focus, on the right direction that leads us to that better future. Anyone and everyone can lead us in the right direction. Leadership has nothing to do with position. It is all about our behaviors and all about our actions. And I want everybody to make sure you capture that. Leadership doesn't have to have anything to do with position. But when you are in a position, you do need to be that leader. You need to be a leader and a manager, but every person in your organization can and should be a leader. Another way to look at the difference here is we have what we do in our jobs, our skill sets, our knowledge, and then we have how we do things. Leadership is how we do things. It's the behaviors that we conduct ourselves with, our relational skills, how we interact with others, how we communicate, our human behaviors, our personal habits. Think about your daily planning, the words that you use, the mindset, that mindset that you have, how we use our time, how we think about things. Those are behaviors of leadership. Again, leadership is not about position. It's all about our actions. Everyone in an organization can and should be a leader because it's about our behaviors that drive passion and focus. One more comparison and example. As we look at everything in the world you think about that goes on, it relates to either logic or it relates to emotion. Leadership relates to emotion. How excited are you? How excited are you when you share things? How excited are you when you are casting that direction? Do you have that energy behind you? Was on a call yesterday, and I swear it was Eeyore on the other side of the line. And he was a leader in that business. His behavior should have been leadership, but he was Eeyore and is not leading. He might be managing, but he's certainly not leading. It's all about energy. We have to have the energy about something. And when we do that, we do accomplish more. We share more. We make better decisions. We help others get on the same path so that we can accomplish that future and become part of that future direction. We all need to be leading with positive emotion. Now, there are a lot of leaders out there, and I will say we meet them every day. There's a lot of leaders that lead with negative emotion or fear. I do believe you will get there faster and you will have better results when you eliminate that fear. You eliminate the fear and you put in the positive energy to help us go in the right direction. So I really believe this is powerful. Before we can lead others, or before others will follow us, we first must learn how to lead ourselves. Now, the next phrase I want you to write down is this right here. People do what people see. People do what people see. For the most part, anything we watch and do, people do what they see. They're learning from how others are acting. We can tell them to do something all day long, but if they see us doing something else, which are they going to believe? Which are they going to follow? They're going to believe what they're seeing. Children are a great example of this. I'm a parent of 3 daughters. Okay, there certainly have been times where I ask them to do something or I teach them to say the right things, but there are times when I don't live up to my full potential. I might say words that I shouldn't say. And guess where they learn them? They learned those nasty words from me because that's just happens. People do what they see. You know, it's they learn that it's okay to do those things. It's the same for our team. They learn from our behaviors. As business executives, we have to be the role model. We have to think about how others are perceiving us and what are we teaching them every minute because of our actions. So before we can lead others, we first must lead ourselves. To help you lead yourself, I'm going to share with you 5 tips to help you grow in your behaviors. Okay. The first one I want to share with you is being very conscious of the words that you use. And I want to give you a few examples of this. And here's another phrase I want you to write down. True communication is the response you get. I want you to think about that and think about every time you're speaking with someone, are you getting the response that you desire? You have to own the response, and it's based on the words that you're using. To go a little deeper, I want you to say what you want instead of what you don't want. You know, eliminate the words don't, not, know. Think about this. If, again, the child is jumping on the bed, what do we say? We say, don't jump on the bed. The mind hears, jump on the bed. Tell them exactly what you want them to do. Feet on the floor is what we want them to do. It's choosing your words wisely to eliminate any confusion. Be clear on your communication. Again, true communication is the response you get. The second tip to lead yourself, adapt to others. Adapting to others builds trust, it builds rapport, it deepens relationships. This is all about communication again. We need to be recognizing other people's styles, their needs, how they like to be communicated to, how they like to communicate. You know, when I think of communicating with others and adapting, I think of it this way. Are they more outgoing or more reserved than I am? Are they faster paced or slower paced than I am? Are they task oriented or are they people oriented? Recognize those things and adapt. This takes a lot of work, but it is well worth it because it is about relationships. I'm sure I'll say this again, but business would be easy if we didn't have to deal with people. But when we think about people, we have to adapt. We have to work well together. You know, when I think of adapting, I use a resource called DISC profiles, and it is not a personality test. It's a communication style for understanding ourselves and helping us learn how to adapt to others. All right, the third tip to lead yourself is we have to choose our attitude, choose our mindset. We have to choose our thoughts. I truly believe this, that our mindset and our thoughts that we have every day determine at least 80 to 90% of our success. Think about that. What is the story you are telling yourself when you wake up, when you have something challenging happen, or how you address things? We must choose to be positive. We must choose to see opportunities. As I think of an attitude and a mindset, you know, Marvin said this, have an abundant mindset. When I think of abundance, always use this phrase, and I want you to capture this as well. How can we? I want you to have a how can we mindset versus a we can't or I don't know how. It's always how can we? You find a way. That is an attitude and a mindset to help you grow every single day. I want you to choose in that attitude also a point of ownership. I want to own my success. I want to own my actions versus blaming someone else. It's so easy. The world has taught us that it's okay to blame, but this is really about how are we making impact. We have to develop that assertiveness to redirect others when they don't have the attitude that's best. Fourth tip to leading your team, always be learning. Here's my challenge to you, 10 minutes every day. Read 10 minutes, could be 10 pages, could be a chapter, or watch a video, watch a YouTube, watch a TED Talk. This helps you self-reflect. It helps you be conscious of your own behaviors. Always be learning. Choose a topic to grow in. Number 5, know your priorities. Know what is most important for you and be absolutely clear every single day. What's that one thing that you need to do every single day that is most important? That's knowing your priorities. The last thing I want to share on knowing your priorities is this right here. And I want you to write this one down as well. Before you end every day, plan your tomorrow. That's knowing your priorities and anticipating, and you're also setting your mind to success. All right, we've talked about 5 tips to lead yourself. Once you lead yourself, people will start to follow, but you also have to learn how to lead others. So I want to help you with that as well. I want to give you 5 tips to lead others. And these are powerful, and especially for us as executives. All right, the first tip to lead others. And I want to challenge you because I think this is one of your biggest roles as executives. You need to learn how to teach others how to think. This helps them become greater leaders. Ask them questions to learn. What options have you thought through? How did you select that one? What other options could we try? Teach them how to think. Don't give them the answer. Teach them to come up with the answer. That goes back to the how can we aspect. Second tip to lead others is make sure you're providing clear direction of the future and help them see where the organization is going. Help them learn how to tell the story, but they also have to recognize how they fit into the story, how they fit into the future. Number 3, ask more questions versus telling. This is powerful. You lead others by asking. There's so many managers that believe that they have to tell because they're the manager. You actually are a stronger manager and a stronger leader when you ask more than you tell. Number 4, understand where they are. This is in their thoughts, their beliefs, their concerns, recognizing what they're going through right now. This is a powerful thing, especially with COVID going on. We have to do that. Last one, make sure you have positive reinforcement. Recognize and reinforce the behaviors that you want more of. And it's okay to make mistakes. That's how we learn every single day. We aren't learning unless we are trying and pushing our limits. Give kudos, show gratitude, send handwritten notes. These are the 5 tips that I want to give you today to help you lead others. Be intentional and clear. I want to share just a brief client story on how they have built their leadership in their organization. This is a company I've worked with for almost 3 years. They're great at their skill. They were great at growing their business. They had strong business, but they weren't aligned. They didn't have clear direction. The CEO had just gone through a mental challenge where he was overwhelmed with fears and the weight of running the business. He really focused and wanted to learn how to not only lead himself, but lead his team. That's when our relationship started. They focus on growing their team, and every person in their organization has a personal development plan where they're not only growing the business, they're growing themselves. And when they grow themselves, the business grows. That is the power. That is the power of everything that we've all talked about today. When we grow, the business grows. They are now growing at a faster pace than they have ever grown in because we have our quarterly planning days. We have our coaching sessions to help them fully implement. That is impacting self-leadership and organizational leadership. So I want to make this all real to you. I want to take the time to help you make leadership a discipline in your organization. And that's the power here. We are here to help create disciplines in your organization for not just you, but for everyone in your company. So here is the specific action I want you to take. I want you to make leadership development easy in your company. Leadership development easy in your organization. Create a leadership and learning atmosphere. And we do this with a simple personal development plan that focuses on leadership development. An exercise I love doing with groups is asking them to think of one name or multiple names of people, maybe they're well known or maybe they're unknown, dead or alive, that they believe is a great leader. Identify that person, share the characteristics or behaviors that they possessed to make them a great leader. Use this to help yourself and your team identify leadership behaviors. Start with yourself. I want you to do it. People do what people see. If you're not creating your own personal development plan, they certainly won't either. I want you to identify and focus on one area to develop in. I want you to focus on that area and identify the behaviors that you're going to improve on and grow. Make it for 30 days. One specific behavior. Be clear on what you will do, what you're going to learn, the habit you're going to instill in yourself, what discipline you're going to create. Keep that in front of you every single day for that 30 days. Review it daily, weekly. See your progress. What's working? What do you need to improve on? And then at the beginning of next month, do it again. Identify the next behavior that you're going to grow in. Continue with that previous behavior and then continue to add the next. I like to monitor my progress in a notebook. On the left-hand side, what's working? On the right-hand side, what do I need to learn differently? I may do that daily, or I may do that after a conversation to help me self-reflect and continue to develop that personal skill. Once you've done it for yourself, now you take it to your direct reports and do the same process, one per month. Then they can take it to their direct reports. Ultimately, the result is that everyone in your organization has a personal development plan. Help your team grow in the identified behaviors. Ask them to hold you accountable to those behaviors and that personal development. Now, how do we do that? Here's the next phrase I want you to write down. If it's not written down, it doesn't exist. You cannot fully implement. You can't hold yourself accountable. You can't hold others accountable for their growth or their actions if it's not written down. Out of sight, out of mind. Write it down for focus, for follow-up, and for personal growth. I said earlier, business would be easy if we didn't have to deal with people. We truly cannot have a successful, long-term, sustainable organization without great people as our assets. We truly can't be successful leaders without great people as one of our assets. So this is another phrase I think is very powerful. We're the ceiling of our business. We're the ceiling of our business with our beliefs, our dreams, our goals. We're also the ceiling of the energy in our organization. It's time to break through that ceiling. And I want you to be intentional with everyone you interact with. So I want you to lead with emotion for personal and organizational results. Invest in your greatest assets, yourself and your people. So I want to thank you for your time. I love that we have so many people on the event here today. The last thing I want you to do as of right now is, again, in the chat box, I want you to type in what your biggest takeaway is from the discussion that I shared. I want you to think about how you are investing in your biggest asset. Angie, back to you.
Wow, Monty. Wow, that's all I could say. This is great stuff. I love these little quick hits of content. The 5 tips to lead yourself is right on. My favorite is teach how you think. I think that's something that's missing in a lot of ways. Also, true communication is the response you get. And also, before you end the day, plan tomorrow. Very, very powerful. So thank you, Monty. Thank you for those little quick hits, and looking forward to seeing you at the end of the session as you tie everything together. So thank you once again, Monty. All right. So, okay, y'all, once again, how are you doing? It's time to take a quick breather. It's time to stretch, refresh your mind. And when we come backstage, so take a quick break and we'll get you right back. See you. Oops, looks like Zoom unexpectedly ending. I'm going to go ahead and get going with our timer here. I'll see you guys in about 3 minutes.